What up, girl? Happy New Year!
Welcome back to the show. I was gonna be like, I got LASIK. I didn't. Uh,
I
my
did.
my hair's longer.
It is long. It's really giving. It's giving and taking.
It's giving and taking. What is it taking? Taking
My breath,
names.
my breath away.
My breath away. Take my breath away. Bum bum. I think I've moved from 2011 Robin to Julie Andrews and the Sound of Music, and now I think I'm giving you Sailor Mercury. What do you think?
Ooh, yes. I could see that.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid with Julie Andrews. I still think you have some Julie in you.
Hmm.
You still have confidence in sunshine. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do have confidence that spring will come again. How do you solve a problem like Maria?
Marry her off, I guess.
I still sing that song on a regular basis, and I don't think that's embarrassing. Because why? I'm deepening my relationship with shame. Girl.
How many references to the king and I are in your daily life? You know what I mean?
Yeah, too many. Or one might say
Man,
just
talk about a
enough.
show that does not stand up to the
Yeah.
test of time. Anyway,
Girl, how you doing in 2024? How's she treating you so far?
oh, just fine. Oh,
Just fine.
yeah. Are you a resolution person? Do you set resolutions?
I used to. Now I look at myself in the mirror and I whisper suggestions. But
Mm.
it's very like it's like a an anxious pet that you're trying to get to come out of their crate.
Okay.
That's my self-talk now. I'm like, "Hi. You still doing okay?" That's me. That's my self-talk. I
I love
feel
that.
yeah, and you know what? I will actually say that after a very challenging 3 years, during which this was a very like appreciated, stable. Um, what is that book about attachment theory I'm reading right now? Call it like a safe haven. This has been a
Ooh, I
very
like
safe
that.
haven for me. I like that.
Yeah.
Also, I'm reading books about attachment theory, so I'm doing great. But no, I mean, like in the midst of a challenging 3 years, I think I'm actually doing pretty well right now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, the self talk I'm doing right now is so gentle. It's like,
Mhm.
maybe let's not try, like it's just, I feel like I'm a
Yeah.
couple steps away from just falling apart. Whether or not I actually am. I feel raw.
I like your metaphor of the pet. I just can't imagine trying to get Penny out of her crate any other way but by banging on multiple sides and yelling, "Let's go, let's go." So that is not how I talk to myself.
You're like, for
So
me, that's a bad metaphor.
you're
Oh,
like, I talk to myself like a pet in a crate, and I'm like, oh my God, are you okay?
yeah. Also, I had to scour my closet, but I found something that I have not worn on the dish, which is this outfit. I know, right? And I actually bought
Oh,
this about 3 years ago, and I've just never worn it.
you've
Um,
never worn it? Well, have a stand. We must see.
Never worn it, and you're about to find out why. Um, because this pair of ladies
Ooh,
separates,
hair.
yeah, this
Oh,
pair of
ladies
ladies
separate.
separates. I feel like I'm in a music video with Enya, and she's singing Orinoco
Yeah.
Flow, and I'm like, girl, this is a Pier 1. Calm down. Like, this is
Man, please leave Williams Sonoma.
this is tropical trends. Can I help you? Like,
Wow. So it's what length is the skirt? Oh, it's like T length.
yeah, it's just below the knee.
Okay.
I
And
imagine
then
this would be a nice swimsuit cover up. Like
yes.
if you had a bikini or something and you were just stepping off the boat, there were a lot of aspirational statements along with where I was going to wear this outfit. You know what I mean?
On the yacht in a bikini on the water.
Exactly. And I
All three of those things readily accessible in Columbus, Ohio, by the way.
yes.
Readily accessible.
Yes. I'm not sure where I was going in this outfit, but I support her journey.
Girl, yes. I like it. And I like, so are they attached? They're not attached, right?
They're not attached at all. It's a wrap top that ends in like a nice little tie situation. That's very fun.
Yeah.
And then you have
I like the top a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, the top is fun. I think the skirt is a little more challenging. Because this vertical ombre stripe is a little harsh, and also you've got this elastic but also knife pleated skirt. It's just a lot going on. I think it might be too matchy.
Yeah, everything you said much more sophisticated. Where I was like, I love the top, but that's all I got.
I do like a wrap top that has a tiny little lapel. That's fun. I feel like it's.
I do. Hold on, I have to let Penny out so you can see my outfit.
Oh yeah, and now that it's just
my outfit is just the actual same. It is sweatpants that I always wear on the dish.
Girl.
And it's my crop top that I bought with you.
Yeah, I know. Girl, I got one just like it because we bought them together.
So we're killing it over here. We're just killing it. So I don't really do resolutions either. I'm not a resolution person, but I've never been a resolution person. They really I get very anxious about them because I'm like I feel very set up for failure. But what's hilarious is usually early in the week I go to the gym early in the mornings. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll hit the gym in the mornings. And I was dreading going this morning for obvious reasons because you're like, it's going to be nuts. Like, you know what I mean? It's January 2nd.
It's that day right after New Year's Day where everyone like starts everything, right? They're doing the Whole30 and the cleanse and the gym routine.
Right, and they're just overdoing it.
Yeah.
But I will say, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something about like the world, or maybe there was a TikTok trend I missed because I don't have TikTok, but the gym had 3 people.
Really?
And I was like, this is great.
It is.
It's like good for everyone.
Good for everyone, yeah.
Like, this is my routine, and I'm not going to stop doing my routine because it's new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would have been annoyed if I, didn't go.
Right. Maybe let's skip the 1 month extreme regimen.
Exactly.
Followed by the just magnificent collapse. Like
Absolutely
been through many of those cycles. I don't think I'm a resolution person anymore because it's just like it requires resolve.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I have that in me anymore.
I blame Lent. So as
Really?
a recovering Catholic, oh my God. As a recovering Catholic in Catholic school, we always had to give up something.
Yeah.
And because we were all young girls with extreme body dysmorphia, we all gave up like some food.
Yep.
Like it was horrific. So French fries or cookies or something. And then like we would torture each other with it. And then like it was just terrible.
Yeah. Your Lenten vows.
It wasn't actually about like giving shit up for Jesus. We all were just trying to get thinner. And everyone's like, that's my Lenten resolution. And I was like, it's so fucking dumb. So the whole thing around like abstaining for me, I don't like. Like I just don't like that. Like, don't get me wrong, like I'll dry out for a few weeks, or I'll stop doing this for a few weeks, or whatever the thing is, right? And I'll be like, okay, well, Brooke, you slipped on the dairy, like cool it on the cheese, or whatever the thing is,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Red wine or rice, or rice and red wine. Those are my things. But like, I can't completely just be like never again.
Yeah.
That never sets me up for success.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I do. It's like setting yourself up with such extreme expectations that you really have no choice but to let yourself down. Like it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because we're not perfect. So like let's not act like we're perfect. Let's skip the part where we're like, oh girl, I do hold on to this fantasy that I'm just gonna be a completely different person tomorrow.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like tomorrow, I'm going to wake up and be the person that wants to go out dancing again. That's not happening, by the way, just so you know. That's not happening. I'm going to be at home watching The Crown. I'm going to be out in the woods collecting samples, right? Like stuff that I do now that maybe 20s me would not have appreciated, but my stuff is different now.
Well, my stuff is different now is my quote for 2024.
Your what? Say that again?
My quote for 2024. It's my mantra. My stuff is different now.
My stuff is different.
What serves me is different. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, It's so totally different. And I think even thinking back to our original dish, and what we
Bring us
started with,
back.
which was really just us trying to be connected, us trying to, still stay connected in not only the pandemic, but across like 10 states. Is there 10 states between us? Six? I don't know.
I
6 to 10?
I don't know American geography that well. It's a few. It's a few states between.
Significant portion of states.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Even just that has evolved so much. Girl, remember when we used to do Jello molds?
Remember when we used to cook for the dish? The amount of preparation we used to have, like a whole, like a template. We had a Google Doc template. Do you remember that? Where we would get together
I got it.
and talk about talking points, and then select a recipe, and then sort of. I mean, because it was new, so we didn't have the format kind of down. Now we just press record.
Girl, we're like, let's do this. All right, so tell me something
Mm-hmm.
from think back to 3 years ago. What's something else you do that you're like, oh my God, I spent way too much time on that. I don't do that anymore.
Oh, I don't do that anymore. Oh gosh.
Or maybe, yeah, no, maybe you still do.
I mean, there's probably things I've let go that I don't think about too much anymore. Um,
Flirting with tractor salesmen.
oh, I still do that. Oh, I still do that. Trust and believe. Trust and believe, honey Tootsie. What do I not do anymore? This is gonna sound weird because I still do perform, but like I used to feel like I needed to have a certain amount of performance. Like I remember the days.
Say it again.
I remember the days where I would say I need to be performing 4 times a month.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I can't even imagine having the energy to perform 4 times a month. Then for a while it was once a month. So I think 3 years ago it was like once a month. And nowadays, nowadays, girl, I'm like once a quarter. And if I do more, because I might, if I do more, fabulous. Love that. Garden Ridge, Olive Garden.
Ooh, when you're here, your family. Well, but
you know the
it's
one.
Interesting because what was fueling you was not necessarily okay. Real talk, real vulnerable talk. Okay, in any performance, in any performer, aspect, you get caught in the comparative culture of like, oh my God, they've had so many shows. And I haven't this many shows, blah, blah, blah. And it's really like the promoting of shows on your social media is twofold. One, it promotes the shows.
Yeah.
But it's really not about that. The sub thing is I'm booked. Look at me, I'm booked. Look at all my shows. Come to, you know what I mean? And it's this thing, right? It's not a bad thing. It's just what it is. So you get caught in the, oh my gosh, so-and-so has this many shows and I need to have this many shows and blah, 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 versus what you're explaining, which is kind of this like internal, like I'm not good enough unless I have this. And those two combine, right? Into like, what is the rings? Captain Planet energy. And it's just like creates this big, horrible, like perfectionist monster.
Yeah. And I think, not to take it back to capitalism, but I think we're all trained that our art is something that needs to be valued monetarily. It's something that's bought and sold rather than something you do because it is fulfilling and it gives you a sense of purpose. And I'm still wrapped up in that. Like, no amount of reading about it, talking about it, and like saying that you believe it will actually make you feel it.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's been really difficult for me is just because I recognize something is happening in myself doesn't mean that it stops.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah, that's so real.
Yeah. I don't have an answer for that one, by the way. That's just like more journaling, I guess. More therapy.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's good.
More LaCroix.
That's hip hop. I'm doing an American cab tonight, by the way, not an Oregon Pinot.
Oh. How is she? Is she good?
She's sturdy.
Oh, we like her. We like her.
Yeah, she's a very stable cab.
Nice. The first time I really hung out with Pandora Fox, we were doing a choreography workshop together. Basically, she was teaching me how to choreograph. This was like early burlesque days.
Give me an idea of where it was in your early burlesque days by telling me what your hair looked like.
Oh, girl, my hair was middle part long, mousy brown hair.
Got it. Okay, that helps me know where we are in the journey.
The beginning.
Early days.
The beginning of the journey.
The origin story.
Yeah, with 5 o'clock shadow. And I don't say that to like tear myself down. I'm saying it was there. Like it was definitely.
You're just like, this is the moment.
It was definitely there. So we were at the Burlesque Hotel, which was a house I lived in with a bunch of other performers, in the sunroom, which had been turned into a rehearsal room. And she came over and she brought a Cabernet. And I didn't know shit about wine. But she brought a Cabernet, and we were having a glass while we were doing our workshop. And I was trying to offer her a compliment by saying that the Cabernet tasted like wood. And she thought, because she didn't know me at the time, she was like, this bitch really did just say my wine tastes like wood.
And it's Pandora.
And then we laughed about it.
She threw a look at you that like could have literally burned through a wall. That woman, if you're backstage
oh
and
my gosh,
step on like one of her costumes, the feeling, I'm like, I feel bad for you. You should leave.
I aspire to that look that just tells you like you just said something wrong.
She doesn't have to say anything.
No.
And she's so lovely. So like if you get that look, you're like,
yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you haven't been on stage yet. You're like, I don't care, I'm leaving.
Palpable shift in air pressure, you know? Like,
no, she is gold.
yeah.
That is hilarious. What a precious little baby crumb you were.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I still love Cabernet. I still think it tastes like wood, but like I could never say that again to somebody else because I was like, we learned on that day.
Yeah, it's like a very it's a sturdy wine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So my partner doesn't drink American Reds. So when we get American Reds, I don't really put American Reds in the house because I want to be able to share in whatever I love, kind of like pairing,
sharing the delight.
Wine. Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is it? And I don't eat meat, so it's really fun for me. Also, we're getting off track, but really not, because this is something that's brought me so much joy in the last 3 years that I didn't really know about.
Yeah.
Which is not just cooking, but like kind of creatively pairing and things like that. So anyways, when we have an American Red in the house, it's just me.
I love that. Girl, I love a charcuterie and doing pairings with it.
Ooh.
So like, you know, and it's tough in the States because I just went to Germany for a little bit. And breakfast...
look at it's 7:18. Girl, she goes 18 whole minutes without being like, no, I spent some time in Europe.
I'm just like eating a pretzel, like a giant soft pretzel. Like, oh, what did you do over the holidays? But no, I mean like, so breakfast in Germany is a little off-putting if you've never had it before because it's like cold cuts, cheeses, and bread, and maybe a soft-boiled egg and fruit. And you're like, okay, I didn't know we were eating raw ingredients. Like, are people okay? You know what I mean? And then you don't realize that everything is amazing. Like, it's amazing bread, it's amazing cheeses, it's amazing meats. And that reminded me of kind of the charcuterie or like the sherry experience. Like, if you have sherry and then you're like, oh, what does this sherry taste like with an olive or with a nut or with a dried fruit? Or that's really fun. It reminds me of Remy from Ratatouille when he first learns about flavors. And he's like, oh, what if I eat this strawberry and this piece of cheese? It's like that kind of experience. It's very fun.
Yes, exactly. Yes, you're like a fun kitchen rat.
Yeah. And then
how was your time?
Yeah.
How was your time in Europe?
It was...
That's, by the way, for our viewers, why we didn't have the dish.
Yeah.
Eileen decided to gallivant across to all the winter Christmas markets in Germany and leave me stranded.
Oh, my God.
In paradise in Palm Beach. So I'm fine.
Right. You were really suffering, I'm sure. I'm sure. No, it's really nice. I went with Monty, my partner, who this is really a bucket list item for him. But when he suggested it, I was like, I have zero issues with that.
You're like, it will also be on my bucket list. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really fun. I didn't know a lot going in. I'm really going to miss the food and the trains and people behaving well, just in general public. That was really noticeable, by the way. Like the amount to which you just put up with people, like the straight bar experience, like when you go down in the short north. That sentence would have used to have been Park Street.
I thought Park Street in Columbus is kind of like not there anymore.
Well, High Street is the new Park Street.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know if that's true. It sounded good. But
you made it happen.
But when the bar opens up and people are out on the street and it's just kind of like general disarray.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
No.
It's just kind of like everyone's quiet on the train and you've got a Christmas market where it's legal to drink outside and everyone's just like chatting and laughing and just like just having a good time with friends. So I'm gonna miss that a little bit.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was nice.
I did not go to Europe for the holidays, dear viewers. So I don't know if you were unclear about that, but I also got the most beautiful updates from Eileen every day on the group chat, and it was I was very jealous. So,
girl, yes. We're still alive and there's still time. So
yes, we're going to Christmas market.
In fact, it's only a matter of time. It could be there, it could be somewhere else. You convinced me to get global entry, and it truly was an amazing gift.
Oh my gosh, global entry is the best. Global entry is the best. Actually, I haven't updated my passport with my married name so much so because I don't want to lose my global entry. So I'm totally a Thomas, except for like my passport and my global entry, because it's going to be such a bear to change. But I refuse to give up global entry because I'm a child.
Well, it takes so long to schedule unless you do it on the way coming back in to the U.S. at customs.
Right.
But it's like a 2-minute interview, and you have to schedule it 6 months ahead. It's a lot.
Well, there's like a whole process for name change. Anyways, that's a whole other story.
Anyway, that's not what we came here to talk about. So, girl, let's talk about the future of. I'm getting really relaxed here. Let's talk about the future of Covered Dish. What would you like to see? And for those of you in the chat, like Charlotte, hey Charlotte. What would you like to see on Covered Dish? Do you want us to bring the food back? Which we might think about it. It's a lot of effort, but I might make a crostini or a bruschetta, or
Aren't those the same thing? What's the difference?
Or maybe like a Spätzle, bringing it back to German food.
Ooh, I don't know what that is, but it sounds German.
It's like a drop noodle. It's like an egg noodle that you drop into the pot, and it's sort of like short, irregular shapes. You serve it with just lots of meat. So
short, irregular shapes. I thought we were going to talk about those tractor salesmen anymore.
Oh, well, let's please keep talking about that because
no, I'm trying to think of what horrific romantic practice from 3 years ago I've dodged. You like following useless trans men on social media? Maybe that.
Girl. Well, you know what though? I would say that one thing that I've stopped doing, not stopped, is entertaining conversations with straight men on dating apps, because it truly is like, it's like I must crave the abuse, because it's more work for less reward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I believe that.
Like, it's from 0 to 3 messages when you really know things are just not going anywhere. And I say 0.
It's giving nothing.
It's go on, girl, give us nothing. Because it's like, if I say 0 because you might see like a guy holding a fish by the river, or you might see like COVID status, prefer not, or COVID vaccination, prefer not to say. And that's,
oh my gosh, they list that on dating apps? Charlotte, did you know this? Wait, they list COVID vaccination on the dating?
Well, they do on Tinder. And so you'll just be like swiping through Tinder, and then like you can it's either no or prefer not to say, and I'm like, okay, thanks for letting me know, and let's move on to the next one. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. So in a way, it's kind of actually like an effective screening tool.
I can't believe they list that.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I understand that, like, if you have an autoimmune disorder and you can't get vaccination, so, like, if there's more nuance than just that, but I don't think Steve has an autoimmune disorder.
Like, I know a few folks who don't have the vaccine because of like legitimate religious, like actual religious exemptions.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know how you tell people that.
Yeah.
Because the assumptions are through the roof. Yeah, no, I'm gonna stop following. Yeah.
But I
You
still
know
do
what it
it.
is like? I love a useless, like butch mask queer in like a flat brimmed hat with like neck tattoos. Who's like, look at this dance I learned. And I'm like, yes, I will look at this dance you
Yeah.
learned. But now I think to your point
But
from 3 years ago, it's this.
there's always some endearing quality though, right?
I know, it's so annoying.
And it doesn't have to be much because I feel like you and I are in a wavelength with this girl. Like we will forgive so much. It's like, oh my god, they have really cute dogs, or they work at LL Bean, and I'm like, oh my god, I love LL Bean. You know what I mean? Like something that means nothing. We will find any excuse to just think like these terrible men are so endearing.
I know. I mean, remember back in our younger days, we would chase them all over the city.
Yeah. I mean, they could be holding up a fish and a decomposition book. You know what I mean? And be like, oh, they're sensitive. They write poetry. Doesn't take much.
The bar is low. So pretty much in the last 3 years, we've raised the bar.
Yeah, we have, baby.
And you've lengthened the mullet.
Oh, girl.
Look at that luxurious floof.
She's settling into luxury.
She is, and I love those earrings.
She's living the standard of life to which she's become accustomed. You can tell from the mullet.
All right, girl, for those who are viewing now and those who view later, which we know we have a few, what is your 2024 send-off advice?
My 2024 send-off advice, I'm going to bring it back to the positive self-talk. And I'm not a daily affirmations person, but I am a daily self-gratitude. Find something that you're grateful for about yourself. You know? I'm not saying you have to love yourself. I'm not even saying that you have to think that you're great, because, like, listen, yeah. I've been there. And that some days I'm just like, we're acceptable. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I can deal with this. But I would find something just like to be grateful for. And it could be like, hey, I got out of bed to brush my teeth today, right? Like, it could be, it's a sliding scale depending on where you're at in your life at that particular moment.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working on. How about you, girl?
Oh, girl. I just, I think about the last 3 years and our friendship and even the relationships we've cultivated with our audience and our friends. And I think mine is the same, but I find joy. It's just really hard for me not to.
Yeah.
So I feel very joyous about 2024. And I hope you do too, dear viewers. Happy New Year, Charlotte. And Happy New Year to all of those who are watching and are watching later. But I think this is just the beginning for us and the dish. I love you, girl.
Girl, and on that note, we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Ah.